Unveiling Hidden Identities, American Victims of Hiroshima. The atomic bombing of Hiroshima on August 6, 1945, remains etched in history as a day of unimaginable devastation. For decades, the narrative focused on the staggering loss of Japanese civilian life. Recently declassified U.S. documents have revealed the deaths of American soldiers, held as prisoners of war, in the Hiroshima bombing. These soldiers, previously uncounted among the casualties, were identified through meticulous research and Freedom of Information Act requests. The discovery of these American POWs compels us to re-examine our understanding of this pivotal event. It serves as a stark reminder that the horrors of war often transcend enemy lines, leaving no side untouched by tragedy. Delving into the individual deceased personnel files. Central to this revelation are the individual deceased personnel files, meticulously preserved documents that offer glimpses into the lives and deaths of these American soldiers.
Dental records, meticulously kept and often used for identification purposes, provide a scientific link to these soldiers. Personal effects, recovered from the wreckage or returned by Japanese authorities, offer tangible connections to their lives: a worn photograph, a letter from home, a small token of remembrance. These artifacts, imbued with silent stories, offer a window into the human lives cut short by the bombing.
Perhaps the most heart-wrenching documents within these files are the official death notices. The notices, often bearing the stark phrase "killed in action," serve as a tangible representation of the immense grief and loss experienced by families on the home front. The fate of the fallen, from Yokohama to American soil. In the aftermath of the bombing, the remains of many of these American soldiers were recovered and initially interred in Yokohama, Japan.
As the United States grappled with the aftermath of the war, efforts were made to bring these fallen soldiers home. The repatriation process, often delayed by logistical challenges and the sheer scale of loss, was of paramount importance to both the government and the families of the deceased.
Upon their return to the United States, these soldiers were laid to rest in military cemeteries across the country, their final resting places marked with honor and remembrance. Families and loved ones, finally able to mourn at their gravesides, found solace in knowing that their loved ones had finally returned home. The repatriation of these soldiers served as a poignant reminder of the enduring bonds of duty, sacrifice, and remembrance. The lingering shadow of Hiroshima delayed casualties. While the immediate impact of the atomic bomb was catastrophic, its devastating effects continued to emerge long after the initial blast.
The declassified documents reveal a tragic reality. Some American servicemen, initially listed as missing in action, succumbed to radiation-related illnesses weeks or even months after the bombing. These delayed casualties, often suffering from radiation sickness, leukemia, or other cancers, highlight the insidious and long-lasting consequences of atomic warfare.
The stories of these soldiers who fought for their country only to become victims of the bomb's invisible aftermath underscore the profound and enduring impact of nuclear weapons. The invisible wounds inflicted by radiation continued to plague survivors, both Japanese and American, for years to come. Their stories underscore the imperative to understand the full spectrum of nuclear weapons' devastating effects, both immediate and long-term.
Section 5. Reframing History, the Broader Implications. The discovery of American POWs among the Hiroshima casualties compels a reassessment of the historical narratives surrounding this pivotal event.
No longer can the narrative be confined to the suffering of one nation. It must encompass the shared human cost of this tragedy. The presence of American POWs in Hiroshima adds layers of complexity to the ethical debates surrounding the bombing.
Furthermore, the revelation of American casualties in Hiroshima underscores the interconnectedness of historical narratives. It highlights the importance of engaging with multiple perspectives and challenging singular narratives that may perpetuate stereotypes or omit crucial details. By acknowledging the suffering of all those affected by the bombing, regardless of nationality, we foster a more comprehensive and empathetic understanding of this tragedy.
Section 6. The Ethical Dilemma. Balancing Transparency and National Security. The revelation of American POW deaths in Hiroshima raises important questions about the balance between transparency and national security.
Some argue that withholding this information was necessary to protect sensitive military data, or to avoid undermining public support for the war effort. Others contend that the government had a moral obligation to be transparent about the full human cost of the bombing, regardless of nationality.
The debate surrounding the classification of this information highlights the complex ethical dilemmas faced by governments in the aftermath of war. Striking a balance between protecting national security and upholding transparency is crucial for maintaining public trust and ensuring accountability.
The revelation of American POW deaths in Hiroshima serves as a powerful reminder that the pursuit of national security should not come at the expense of ethical considerations and historical accuracy.
Section 7. The human cost of war, beyond numbers, individual stories. While statistics can convey the scale of devastation, it is in the individual stories where the true human cost of war becomes palpable.
Through their letters, photographs, and personal effects, we catch glimpses of their hopes, dreams, and the lives cut short. We learn of a young man from a small town, eager to return home and start a family.
Each soldier's story, pieced together from fragmented remnants of their lives, serves as a poignant reminder that behind the statistics lie individuals with families, aspirations, and futures stolen by the horrors of war. By sharing these individual stories, we breathe life into the historical record, ensuring that these soldiers are remembered not as anonymous casualties, but as individuals who lived, loved, and ultimately made the ultimate sacrifice.
Their stories personalize the tragedy of Hiroshima, fostering empathy and reminding us of the enduring human cost of conflict.
Section 8. A shared legacy of suffering, connecting American and Japanese narratives. The revelation of American POW deaths in Hiroshima offers a unique opportunity to connect the American and Japanese narratives of this tragedy.
By acknowledging the suffering of both sides, we foster a more nuanced and empathetic understanding of the bombing's far-reaching consequences.
The shared experience of loss can serve as a bridge, connecting individuals and nations bound by a common history.
Recognizing the American victims of Hiroshima does not diminish the suffering endured by the Japanese people.
Instead, it highlights the indiscriminate nature of atomic warfare and its ability to inflict pain and loss across borders. By sharing stories of loss, resilience, and remembrance from both perspectives, we create space for dialogue, healing, and reconciliation. Section 9. Preserving memory, the importance of remembering Hiroshima. As time passes and living memory fades, it becomes increasingly important to preserve the memory of Hiroshima and its victims.
The declassified documents, along with the personal stories they contain, serve as invaluable primary sources for understanding this pivotal event.
By making these documents accessible to the public and incorporating them into educational initiatives, we ensure that future generations learn from the mistakes of the past.
Museums, memorials, and historical sites dedicated to preserving the memory of Hiroshima play a crucial role in educating the public about the devastating consequences of atomic warfare.
By sharing first-hand accounts, artifacts, and historical context, these institutions provide visitors with a tangible connection to the past, fostering empathy and understanding.
By keeping the memory of Hiroshima alive, we ensure that the lessons learned from this tragedy continue to resonate with future generations.
Section 10. Lessons from the Ashes, Striving for a Nuclear-Free World. The atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki stand as stark reminders of the devastating consequences of nuclear weapons.
The lessons learned from these tragedies continue to shape international relations and underscore the urgent need for nuclear disarmament.
The declassified documents with their revelations of American casualties reinforce the message that nuclear war leaves no victors, only victims.
The horrors of Hiroshima and Nagasaki galvanized the international community to pursue arms control treaties and non-proliferation agreements.
Organizations like the United Nations have played a crucial role in fostering dialogue, promoting disarmament, and preventing the spread of nuclear weapons.
Their sacrifices, along with those of countless others who have been affected by nuclear weapons, compel us to work tirelessly towards a future where such devastation is never again unleashed upon humanity.
Section 11. The enduring mystery, unanswered questions, and ongoing research. While the declassified documents shed light on a previously hidden chapter of Hiroshima's history, they also raise new questions and areas for further investigation.
Historians and researchers continue to piece together the events leading up to the bombing, the experiences of the American POWs, and the long-term consequences of radiation exposure.
Ongoing research efforts focus on identifying the remaining unidentified soldiers, tracing their families, and documenting their stories.
Technological advancements in DNA analysis and archival research offer new possibilities for uncovering additional information and achieving closure for families who lost loved ones in Hiroshima.
The pursuit of a complete and accurate historical record is an ongoing process requiring collaboration, meticulous research, and a commitment to uncovering the truth.
By embracing ongoing research, engaging with diverse perspectives, and honoring the memories of all those affected by this tragedy, we can continue to learn from the past and strive for a more peaceful and just future.